font would that be?
Sam. I've got three different answers. Is that not right? Okay. See this one thing and then it's not there.
Okay, everybody, just made welcome. So welcome aboard. Make sure you select all the way in for me. Make sure you guys are finding those perfect seats because there's going to be your seats for the next 2 weeks out here on the resort. So make sure you're finding your favorite and final spots because there'll be no moving around while we are out here. Now, if you have any kids, they can't sit on your lap. That is perfectly fine, but please make sure you're not raising them up in the air. As you are not Rafiki, they are not Simba, this is not the Lion King. So you're going to be staying seated the entire time and not moving throughout the rows. Where they are right now is where they're going to stay the entire time we are out there. I also do ask that we don't yell at any of the animals today, as we want them to feel as comfortable as possible in their home, since we are just visiting them. So giraffes. Now the males are also going to have 2 ossicones on the top, and they have the camouflage animals out here on the reserve. So it might just be a little bit harder for us to see them, as they do use their markings on them to help blend into their surroundings and hide away from predators. So right over here, they moved over a little bit. Now bongos are considered to be the ghosts of the forest because they are very rarely ever seen, and they do blend into a lot of their surroundings out here. Those are greater kudu. Now the greater kudu are the larger of the antelope species, getting about 55 inches tall just at the shoulders. Now on the right hand side over here, we will be able to see some pink-backed pelicans. Now pink-backed pelicans get their name from the pink coloration they get on their backs during their mating season. They're also going to be colonial nesters, be about 20 to 500 pairs on a nest at one time. At night, filled in the vegetation that does surround it. Hippos, they are herbivores, so it might not seem like it because of the large teeth that they are known to have. But those teeth are going to be used for defense only, so they only show them they feel extremely threatened. Now on the left-hand side over here, we'll be able to see those Nile crocodiles. Now Nile crocodiles are the larger of the crocodilian species, getting about 16 feet in length and weighing about 500 pounds. Now they can eat about half of their body weight in just one sitting, and because of this, they really only need to eat about once a week to be able to survive. Now we'll be able to see some wildebeest over here on the right-hand side. Now the wildebeest, they do get into herds of about 1.5 million and will travel about a little bit like they are mooing like a cow, but there's going to be their own noise. Now it's never really that visible, really that loud whenever we do hear it when they're stampeding, so every once in a while it gets pretty loud, but not too loud for us. Are the smaller of the antelope species, and they can jump about 6 to 8 feet in the air just from standing up, and jump about 13 feet forward. Now they can also run at about 50 to 60 miles per hour, making them one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world. Now we're going to keep an eye out on these wildebeest because they might start crossing in just 1 second, so we'll just kind of watch them. Now over on the left-hand side, as we kind of wait for these wildebeest to pass, you can kind of see it, but there is a bush in the way. I don't know that. We'll have some sable antelope laying back there. Now the sable antelope are the emblem to the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and they are a very brave animal and will never back down from a challenge. With how their horns are shaped, they are able to deter predators away from them and be able to protect themselves. Now they were kind of in that back corner a little bit. Now over here we will see some termite mounds as well as the Ed-Coley cattle. Now termite mounds are going to be as hard as concrete, made up of mud, dung, and saliva. Now those horns may seem like they're very heavy, but they're actually going to be very light, and they do have a honeycomb structure throughout them that helps them regulate their body temperature and allows them to adjust to a lot of the climates they get introduced to. Now we will be able to get some fantastic views right here of this giraffe as well as the Ed-Coley cattle that's right here. Now these giraffe are the Maasai giraffe, and they do have a little bit more of a messier rugged leaf pattern to them than what we are used to seeing, as we are used to seeing the reticulated giraffe just a little bit more. Now giraffes, they are about 18 feet tall, and their babies are born at about 6 feet, and they do have a 6-foot drop from their moms when they are born to help kickstart their lungs a little bit to help them start breathing. Within the first hour of them being born, they will be up and moving around, so that drop really does not affect these animals in too many ways. Now giraffes do spend the majority of their day eating. They only sleep for about 30 minutes a day. Now it's not going to be a consecutive 30 minutes, it's actually about 1 to 2 minute power naps throughout the entire day, but just equal 30 minutes. And during these naps, they will be standing completely still. They have such long legs, makes it very vulnerable to predators if they do lay down, so just prefer to stay standing, and if we ever do see a giraffe laying down, they just feel extremely comfortable in their environment. What do they have? Now prehensile does mean finger-like, so they are able to grip the leaves on the trees and be able to bring it down to their mouth. Now their tongue is about 18 inches long. It's also going to be a bluish purple color to be able to help protect it from the sun so they don't get a sunburn on their tongue. A little bit, I don't know if we can get a better view of him, but those mandrills are going to be walking around in the back right there. Now we're going to move around because I think we have a better shot of getting a better right there than what we could have before. Around on the savannah, they can dig their tusks into those trees, get to the water, and be able to help out a bunch of the different animals we got to see out here today. Probably seen before. As elephants do continue growing until they're about 30 to 40 years old. Do they still have a while to go before they get that full-grown size? Goes, they are born gray and they get the pink coloration from the beta carotene and the growth they do eat. Now, a year after they're born, that's when they start to lose their gray feathers a little bit, and they'll be gray and white. And a little bit after that, they start getting some pink feathers to them, so they can start losing their gray feathers altogether. And we'll kind of be able to see some last views of some elephants as we continue forward. Largest flightless birds, and they do up to speeds of about 40 miles per hour. Now we can tell this is a female ostrich because of her gray feathers. Now the males are going to have a black feather, which is what we're really used to seeing on ostriches. View of these rhinos right here, because we'll be able to get them a little bit better than the cheetahs on this side right here. The cheetahs should be up ahead just a little bit, but you'll see some fantastic views as we slowly make our way through here. It's out there, so they can look out across the savannah and be able to check out what's going on and make sure everything's running pretty smoothly out here. That rhino won last time. Now rhinos don't really have the best eyesight, but they do have very good hearing, so whenever they hear loud noises, they usually go straight towards it. Now during the day, their eyesight is just like ours, but at night's about 6 times stronger, so that's when they do the majority of their hunting. Now they're the northern right rhinos, and you're to be able to see a baby right out there for those rhinos. Now the northern right rhinos are not doing as well as these southern right rhinos. It is far too sound and far too final. They like to say a simple phrase, which is Quaharini, which does mean to go well.